We have completed screening of kidney disease, that is complete urine analysis, plasma urea creatinine and plasma electrolyte estimation. Then we read the assessment of glomerular function. Here glomerular filtration rate, that is GFR, EGFR calculation, MDRD equation we have already discussed. Then we have discussed about clearance test. Clearance test of creatinine has completed. Now we will see clearance test using cystatin C and inulin. So this is cystatin C. Cystatin C in high concentration it is seen in biological fluid like breast milk, tears and saliva. Though it is expressed in virtually all organ of the body. It is the most abundant extracellular cysteine protease inhibitor. Protease inhibitor means it will break down the protein where the cysteine is present. So it is cysteine protease inhibitor. It allows a more precise testing of kidney glomerular function because it has a stable production rate and free filtration by the kidney glomeruli. Concentration does not vary during an acute phase reaction. Cystatin C is a more precise test of kidney function test than serum creatinine level because it is not dependent on age. In case of creatinine, it was dependent on age. As the age এর সাথে কি ডিপেন্ডেন্সি আছে, কমে যাবে, এজ যখনই বাড়বে তখন কমে যাবে। জেন্ডার, creatinine is gender biased but cystatin C is not. Muscle mass, it is not dependent on muscle mass but creatinine was dependent on muscle mass. Then it is not dependent on inflammatory process. So this is better than creatinine. Also creatinine level is increased only when more than 50% renal is already damaged. Okay. When GFR starts falling, then the creatinine value will also rise into the blood, but there is a compensation mechanism in our body. That's why creatinine does not rise when up to 50% renal is already damaged. But so creatinine is a late marker, but cystatin C is a sensitive early marker for renal damage. Okay. So here it is written the normal blood level is 0.8 to 1.2 milligram per liter. 20%, only 20% patients have elevated serum creatinine, but 76% patient have elevated cystatin C levels. ওটা লেখা আছে serum creatinine does not increase until GFR has moderately decreased, that is about 40 ml. যখন GFR কমতে কমতে 120 থেকে 100, 90, 70, 40 অবধি আসবে, then the blood creatinine level will be unaltered. Okay, because you know that 10% creatinine is secretion from the, there is 10% creatinine secretion from the tubule. So a tubular secretion rate will increase to compensate or to normalize the serum creatinine level. Okay, when it is below 40, then the creatinine level falls. So this area up to 40, this is called creatinine blind area. Okay, because we cannot assume by seeing the result of serum creatinine level, but in this area cystatin C level will increase into the serum. So there is no tubular secretion of cystatin C. It is extremely sensitive to small changes in GFR in the earliest stage of CKD. These are the advantages that is we have already discussed: unaffected by non-renal factor, muscle mass, height, weight, gender, less inter-individual variation than creatinine, and it is sensitive and it is early marker. Now inulin clearance. Inulin is a polysaccharide, you all know from your carbohydrate class. Okay, polysaccharide of fructose. It is neither absorbed nor secreted, so it is the best. Therefore inulin clearance is a measure of GFR. The value of GFR as measured by inulin clearance is around 125 ml per minute. But this is a exogenous marker, so we have, this is not seen in our human body normally, so it is a exogenous marker, so we have to continuous infusion of insulin so as to keep the plasma level adequate. So that's why this is not using routinely, but this is better than other markers. Now coming to the markers of glomerular permeability. You all know that glomerular is semi-permeable, but when glomeruli are damaged or diseased, then the permeability increases. And when permeability increases, then albumin passes more easily than globulin because albumin has smaller molecular weight than globulin. For estimation of proteinuria, EMU means early morning urine sample is preferred because to rule out the orthostatic proteinuria. So, normally in urine protein is present or not? Yes, how much amount? Around 150 milligram per day. And the protein is mainly TAM horsepower protein and also some small amount of albumin, small amount of alpha 1 microglobulin. Okay, TAM horsepower protein, small amount of albumin and small amount of alpha microglobulin. These proteins normally excretes through urine, but the amount is very less, that is around 150 milligram per day. But when there is a large amount of protein in the urine, then the condition is called proteinuria. There are three terms. When the amount of protein is around 300 milligram per day, then it is called benign proteinuria. Benign proteinuria. Up to 300 milligram per day. When it is from 300 milligram to 1000 milligram per day, then it is called pathologic proteinuria. Pathologic proteinuria. When it is more than 1000 milligram per day or 1 gram per day, then it is called glomerular proteinuria. Glomerular proteinuria. So the normal amount is around 150 milligram per day. This is normal. When it is 300 milligram per day, then the condition is called benign proteinuria. When it is 300 to 1000 milligram per day, then it is called pathologic proteinuria. When it is greater than 1000 milligram per day or 1 gram per day, then it is called glomerular proteinuria. Then there is another important term which is called microalbuminuria. Micro means small amount. Microalbuminuria or paucialbuminuria. When there is small amount of albumin present in urine, around 30 to 300 milligram per day, then it is called microalbuminuria. We estimate microalbuminuria as ACR, that is albumin creatinine ratio. Albumin creatinine ratio. Albumin is to creatinine. This is called ACR. ACR. ACR equal to serum albumin divided by serum creatinine into 1000. The unit is milligram per gram of creatinine. This is the unit, milligram per gram of creatinine, unit of ACR, that is albumin creatinine ratio. We have to estimate the serum albumin level, then we have to estimate the serum creatinine level, then serum albumin by creatinine into 1000, and the unit will be milligram per gram of creatinine. Suppose the value is 30, then it will be 30 milligram per gram of creatinine. It is expressed like this. So microalbuminuria, it is the early indication of nephropathy in patient of diabetes mellitus and hypertension. If a patient is suffering from diabetes mellitus or hypertension in long run, then we advise them to estimate the ACR, that is albumin creatinine ratio. So first was the glomerular proteinuria. This was due to increase the permeability of the glomerulus. Then it is overflow proteinuria. When small molecular weight proteins are increased in blood, then they overflows in urine. It is called overflow. Then it is called overflow proteinuria. That means glomerulus is intact. Okay, there is no disease or there is no change in permeability of the glomerulus, but there is small molecular of protein in the blood has increased. So which protein we can see? That is in hemoglobinuria, hemoglobin will appear. Hemoglobinuria can be seen in which condition? In which condition hemoglobin can be seen in urine? Hemolytic anemia or mismatched blood transfusion. There will be breakdown of the RBC. And the hemoglobin will pass through kidney and will appear in the urine. Now coming to myoglobinuria. Myoglobinuria can be seen in which condition? Myoglobin is present in kothay thake? Muscle. So there must be any condition when there is muscle breakdown, like in rhabdomyolysis, okay, or crash injury of the muscle. So myoglobin will appear in the urine. Now coming to Baines-Jones proteinuria. Baines-Jones protein seen in which condition? We have already discussed in practical class during estimation of protein. That was Baines-Jones protein. This is very important. किसे देखा जाए Baines-Jones protein? It is seen in multiple myeloma. Have you heard the term multiple myeloma? It is seen in multiple myeloma. Multiple myeloma, it is a neoplastic condition of the plasma cell. There is increased production of the light chain. Light chain किसे थाके? Immunoglobulin. So increased production of the light chain. So this protein will pass through kidney and will appear into the urine. Baines-Jones protein has a special character, that is, if we take the urine sample and if we heat around 40 degrees Celsius, then the coagulum appears like other protein. Okay. Then if we continue heating, then when the temperature reaches around 60 degrees Celsius, then the coagulum disappears. Okay. This is a special characteristic. And if we continue heating, and when the temperature is around 80 degrees Celsius, then the coagulum again appears. And if we allow cooling of the sample, then the coagulum disappears. Okay, so there is appearance of coagulum, disappearance, then again appearance of coagulum, then again disappearance. So this is a special characteristic features of Baines-Jones protein. Okay. In case of multiple myeloma, which band you can see in electrophoresis? Name of the band? M band. M band is seen in electrophoresis. So in multiple myeloma, Baines-Jones protein in urine and M band in electrophoresis. Okay. Electrophoresis, জানিস তো কি? What is electrophoresis? কি করে ইলেকট্রোফোরেসিসে? চার্জ আর মলিকুলার ওয়েটের এগেইনস্টে প্রোটিন সেপারেট হয়, শুধু প্রোটিন না, ডিএনএও সেপারেট করা যায়। ঠিক আছে? সো দিস ইজ অ্যাবাউট ওভারফ্লো প্রোটিনিউরিয়া। নেক্সট ইজ টিবিউলার প্রোটিনিউরিয়া. When amount of functional nephrons are reduced, then remaining nephrons are overworking. Then GFR will be decreased and tubular reabsorption mechanism will be impaired. And low molecular weight protein will appear in the urine. And the proteins are RBP, means retinol binding protein. That is RBP. And alpha-1 microglobulin. So these two type of protein, retinol binding protein and alpha-1 microglobulin, will appear in the urine in case of tubular proteinuria. So three types of proteinuria. Number one is glomerular proteinuria. Then number two is overflow proteinuria. Then number three is tubular proteinuria. Among them, glomerular proteinuria is common. It is due to damage or disease condition of the glomerulus, so permeability will be changed. Okay. And among glomerular proteinuria, microalbuminuria, that is ACR, albumin creatine ratio, it is important. So we have completed the assessment of the glomerular function. Glomerular function e ki ache tahole GFR, estimation of GFR by clearance test, and this proteinuria, test of protein. Now test for tubular function. This tubular function test is not routinely done, okay, just for your knowledge. So in test for tubular function, first we will see the specific gravity urine, which we have already discussed. Then measurement of osmolality, not larity. This is osmolality. Then concentration test, dilution test, and urinary acidification. Among these tests, measurement of osmolality is done, but rest of the test is obsolete. So what is osmolality range? Osmolality of urine, this is urine, not serum. Osmolality of urine, it has a wider range from 60 to 1200 milliosmol per kg. Milliosmol per kg. Random urine can show value around 600 milliosmol. After 12 hours of fluid restriction, value may increase up to 850 milliosmol per kg. Osmolality is measured by using osmometer. If there is deficiency of ADH, that is antidiuretic hormone, deficiency of ADH or decreased in ADH response. When there is deficiency of ADH, that is central diabetes insipidus, and when there is decreased ADH response, that is peripheral diabetes insipidus. So in both cases there is actually deficiency of ADH, and it will excrete urine with osmolality less than 300 milliosmol per kg. Okay, this is osmolality. Now concentration test, it is not done, but you have to know. There is no food and water after 6 p.m. Patient is asked not to take any food, any water after 6 p.m. Then next day at 7 a.m. patient is asked to empty the bladder and the urine discarded. Then at 8 a.m. in the morning, second specimen have to collect, and we have to measure the specific gravity. Okay. If specific gravity is more than 1.022, then patient has adequate renal function. If specific gravity is increased, then there is adequate renal function. If it has not increased, then there is some defect. Now coming to dilution test. Patient is advised not to take any food and water after midnight. In case of concentration test, that was from 6 p.m. evening, and here from midnight. Then same as 8 a.m. in the morning, patient is asked to empty the bladder and we have to discard the urine. Then here water load is given, that is 1.2 liter of water over 30 minutes. Then hourly sample is collected for next 4 hours. That means 4 sample we have to collect, one at 1 hour, then 2 hours, then 3 hours, then 4 hours. Then serum specific gravity of urine, volume and osmolality we have to measure for each sample. Normal person will void all the amount. All the amount means 1.2 liter of the urine. Normal person will void, and at least one specific gravity will fall to 1.003. আমরা তো ডাইলুট করেছি, পেশেন্টকে ওয়াটার লোড দিয়েছি, তো specific gravity fall করবে at least একটা স্যাম্পলে 1.003, and osmolality will decrease to 50 milliosmol per kg. So this is dilution test. Concentration test, dilution test. Then it is urinary acidification test. Urinary acidification test was done in case of unexplained hyperchloremic metabolic acidosis. Acidification defect due to general tubular defect, or there is defect of any ion channels. UAG means urinary anion gap. Urinary anion gap is measured. Absence of gap or positive gap indicates ammonia generation defect, or there is excretion defect. This is urinary acidification. So we have completed the renal function test. Okay, now